lot of the various forces that are playing out in the marketplace in the industry right now. I guess I come at it from two different perspectives. The first is, how do we improve the opportunity for savers to be more successful as an industry? The way we think about it at a census is, how do we help more savers save more? And then the other dynamic, which your work speaks to as well, is what are the dynamics at play across the provider ecosystem? Maybe a little bit of inside baseball, but really important to understand those dynamics as we think about creating better outcomes and success for American savers, and also improving the landscape for many of the constituents that we serve. Maybe just starting off with how we improve the opportunity for savers. You talked about this coverage deficit. We've always talked about it in terms of twin deficits. A lot has been written about and spoken about, all the statistics of coverage and the lack of coverage, particularly for American workers in small, mid-sized business. That's where and the gig economy, right? That's where the big opportunity exists. But there's a second deficit around quality. And when you look at not only those small and mid-sized businesses, but even some larger businesses, you have certain plans that have lower levels of adoption of auto features, enrollment, escalation. Therefore, you see less participation. In general, lower contribution rates in small, mid-sized businesses with lower average salaries. There's this quality issue that's also materially important as we think about guiding people to the right outcomes. This is something that is really important to me personally. I saw it firsthand in my own family. My father's family were Italian immigrants, didn't have a lot of money. My father sold peanuts at the Bronx Zoo to put himself through technical school. And he was fortunate that he got a job at Bell Labs, one of the biggest engineering innovation institutions at the time. And he had access to a defined benefit program and ultimately a really strong defined contribution program and health programs and all those aspects of what it's like to work for a high quality big employer. His brother, my uncle, was an incredibly successful small business leader and entrepreneur. He made 20 times more money than my father made throughout his lifetime, but he ended up toward the end of his life living in a really challenging way as a function of a healthcare event and had very little money at the end of his life. And you look at the difference between my dad and my uncle and their outcomes just as a function of who they worked for and the programs that they had access to. So it's a really big deal. And I think my own personal story is illustrative of what many other people are experiencing in their lives. The barriers to getting these programs to adopt, or it's all about administrative complexity, cost, and fiduciary responsibility. Where we see things headed and where we're focused here at a census is really in three major areas. One is, how do we make workplace plans a reality for even more businesses? Right. Part of that is a broader range of solutions and capabilities that you can deliver at scale that meet the needs of the various types of businesses that we serve, whether those be PEP solutions, where we're able to provide fiduciary support, SEP-simple IRAs, individual Ks, regular defined contribution 401k programs with a variety of features. We believe that having the right solutions for the right workplace is really an important part of it. Another big important part is lowering cost, lowering administrative burden, and providing more support around fiduciary risk. Technology and client experience, we think, is at the core of that, because if you deliver the right client experiences, you can very efficiently deliver very high quality outcomes. That is, I think, absolutely critical in that small market. And then the third area that I would point to is, or the next area I would point to, is saver participation and increasing contributions in programs. We need to get people in these programs more efficiently. We need to help them better manage their period of saving. We need to help them track and manage their programs. We need to democratize advice, removing the obstacles to saving that exist for so many Americans. And at the end of the day, we need to take a really saver-centric approach to the way we design our solutions.